As you begin to review the complex numbers in the next couple of lessons, these are some of the things that you will be expected to remember. And first is the algebra of complex numbers, that is how to add complex numbers, how to subtract them, how to multiply and divide. You might already be aware that if you have two complex numbers, a plus bi, we call this z1, and z2, c plus di, then z1 plus z2 is a plus c plus b plus d, and that works for subtraction as well. So z1 minus z2 would be a plus c minus b plus di. If you multiply them, then hopefully you should be able to multiply the same way you would multiply algebra, and that should give you a plus bi multiplied by c plus di. Hopefully you are able to get the final result of ac minus bd as the real part plus bc plus ad as the imaginary part. When you divide complex numbers, then hopefully you have been able to review and find that a plus bi divided by c plus di, you need to realize the denominator, that is to make the denominator real, and that is done by multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of the denominator, where the conjugate of a real number is always the same as the original number, but with the imaginary part reversed signs, and that would make a real denominator, and this should become something plus bi, which you can work out what a and b are. Then you also know that when two complex numbers are equal, then this means and is meant by that the real parts are equal and the imaginary parts are equal, and that should lead you to solving such problems as, if I find the square root of 3 plus 4i, how would I do that? I'm required to find the square root of a complex number, and this is of course done by remembering that you can think of equality of complex numbers, that if I let root 3 plus 4i to be equal to some a plus bi, then of course that means I can square both sides and solve by equating the parts that are equal, and that would be 2a plus 2ab. So by equating the imaginary parts and equating the real parts, that is 3 equal to a squared minus b squared, and 4 being equal to 2ab, then I can find what a and b are. The next part will be done in the next video.